It is Thursday. It's time for a little Thursday thought session from Westwood. A lot of things that I could talk about. The crypto market, start with that. The crypto market right now is, it took a dip. You saw Bitcoin around $30,000 again, but again, dropped from 40 plus thousand down to 30,000. But keep in perspective, if you zoom out on the charts, that's what people say, zoom out, get a high level view and you look down, it's nothing. In fact, if you go back a month or so, we were thinking, oh my gosh, is it going to go over 20,000? Is it going to go over 20,000? Now it's 30,000. Now it can drop back down, and it probably will. But if you're committed and you believe in what cryptocurrencies are and what they can do and the tool that a crypto is, then it's just an opportunity to get out of that dirty system, out of that corrupt system that we've lived in. That's most of the people I know, that's why they're in cryptocurrency, is to get out of the corruption. I mean, we see it every day. They talk about printing 1.9 trillion. They just printed 900 billion in December. I mean, and when I say print, I should say they created, because they don't print it anymore. But they flooded the market with that stuff, and that's going to go somewhere. So, it's just an opportunity. It's like when you go to a store, do you want to pay, oh my gosh, the price is going up. I need to get more. The price keeps going up. Or would you rather buy it when it's on sale? Kmart used to have the blue light special. They'd roll out this laminated wood box with a hole and a blue siren thing on it. It looks like, on a trailer court, you got the lights that hang there, it's like upside down, like one of these blue can light things, plastic tiki lights or whatever you call it. They'd roll that thing out and it'd be blue light special and hardware, blue light special and appliances, and everybody, and it's kind of illustrative of where we've come in society. So you used to have to be in the store and there was this super buy, this blue light special, everybody, get over there, there's a blue light special. And now, you pull out your phone and you have, what's the deal for Black Friday? And you can order it and then it's there the next day, or you pick it up on the curb and they put it in your car. We've come so far with technology, and crypto is a big part of that. It's an honest form of money. You might say, well, we have digital money. Why do we need cryptocurrency? Well, because it's an honest form of money. It's not like a credit card to where you have to say, oh, okay, credit card's an honor system. You think about it. You give someone your credit card number, you give them the expiration date, name, billing address, the little security code, the 3-digit code, and you give that to somebody. And they're supposed to charge you what they say they're going to charge you. Now, you give it to a restaurant. What's to say somebody doesn't write that down? The employee takes that and goes, somewhere else and charges something, online and has it delivered somewhere. There's fraud built into that system. It's an honor system because the person you are paying, you're trusting them to pull the right amount out of your account. And if they don't, you got to go through a whole mess. You got chargebacks. Look at Johnny Litecoin on Twitter for that, at Johnny Litecoin, no H in Johnny. As far as, he deals with this stuff all the time, payment transactions and fraud. And, it's inherent in the current system. So with cryptocurrency, though, it's the opposite. Someone's not pulling from you and you're trusting them to pull the right amount of money from you. No. You are paying that person a specific amount of money. You are paying it. They don't know what you have. They don't know you don't have any access to that account. Only you do. So you're pushing it to them rather than pulling it from you. And it's a better system because it's more honest. Now, if you send it and it's wrong and, they say, well, I'm not giving it back to you. You paid me too much. That's your fault. It's just like overpaying with cash. Think of it that way. Crypto is digital cash. You give it to somebody and, if you made the wrong payment amount, they may not tell you, but it's up to you ultimately. You made the mistake. Someone else didn't rip you off. You made the mistake. And some people, they don't want to live in that kind of system. They'd rather be protected. They'd rather have FDIC insurance. It's like, oh, okay, the government's got my back. I'll be all right. But that comes with consequences. So either way, there's trade-offs. And I think it's just like living in the city. And I used the example on our last happy hour every Friday at 4 p.m. Central Time on Litecoin Lisa's channel on YouTube. We have a happy hour. I drink and, you know, talk about things. But it's entertaining. It's fun. It really is. And I brought up the fact that the Amish people, and I'm not picking on Amish people, you know, it's just an example. Because, you know, you have the Amish community. If you're hardcore Amish, you know, you don't have any of these, you know, mechanical or electrical appliances and any of this stuff, and then you live off on your own. How are you affected with the current election? How are you affected when a new president comes in? Do you even know if a new president comes in? So they're living their lives. They've carved out a part of, you know, the culture, the land. They've made a new society. They've made a new culture, or live their culture. They aren't affected by all those forces that, you know, that we are affected by because we're watching the television. I mean, you see all these things on the television, but are you directly affected by these things? Are you seeing the same thing in your daily life? If you're disconnected from all of that, I mean, how does it really affect you on a daily basis? And it really comes down to, you know, I think about it, and it's like, well, money, because I'm taxed, you know, but again, you can make the argument that's all voluntary anyway. But, you know, again, you know, they hold the guns, so, you know, it's like a mafia. But you try and disconnect yourself as much as you can. And if you deal with, let's say you deal in your own money, how are they going to tax that? So you create your own cryptocurrency, or you create your own script, you know, your own, you know, whatever you want to use, you know, seashells, eggs, you know, whatever you want to use, you create that in your community, and that's all you use. How is anybody taxing that? How can they tax that? That's outside of their casino. You're not dealing in their poker chips then. You've created your own. And so if you decide, I mean, we can all determine to get outside that system. We can remove ourselves from it. We can create our own society, our own, you know, communities, and we can be, you know, to a great extent exempt from their culture that they create at the national level. That goes for both sides of the aisle. I mean, they're all corrupt. You know, leave that fence up and, you know, electrify it in DC. It's a real roast. So it's, you know, it really comes down to your level of independence, and, you know, how much do you want to be dependent and how free do you want to be? You live in a city and you are naturally going to be dependent. You're dependent upon a lot of things. You're dependent upon the sewer lines working. You're dependent upon the water lines working, the electrical. You're dependent upon, you know, traffic flowing. There are all of these things that you are really, you know, dependent upon many people to exist. Dependent upon outside food sources, to trucks and fuel, to bring all that stuff into the city, because you don't produce that. Now, you can produce a lot of manufacturing, a lot of finance, a lot of different things in the city, but, you know, the fundamental things that you need, someone else is doing that for you. Now, if you remove yourself, and again, let's use the Amish, let's use, you know, somebody, a really rural society, agrarian society, and they're very far removed from that. They're close to their food source. They're close to the things that they can produce on their own, because all wealth comes out of the ground. Food comes out of the ground. So they can produce their own food. And they can their own food. So that in the wintertime, they've got food when they can't grow any. So they have done that and people have done that. How do you think we survived before, you know, modern conveniences? It was hard. Life expectancy wasn't very high, but we did it. We had to do it. And, you know, some people still choose to do that because they don't want to be told what to do. They don't want to be told that, hey, you know what? If you want to do this, then you need to do this. See, there's always the quid pro quo. What do you get? What do you have to do to get what you want? And so if you're getting a welfare check, or you're getting a social security check, you know, soon stimulus, if you're getting these things from the mothership, then you may have to do certain things you maybe don't agree with, but it's a trade-off. I got to pay these taxes. All right, I got to pay these higher taxes, because I got to pay the city tax, and I got to pay this tax, that tax. Well, I can't go into this building. I can't fly. I can't drive. I can't, whatever it is. I can't do these things because, well, I'm supposed to have a COVID vaccine. That may be the next thing. And you see it already. You're not supposed to do this and this. You can't travel unless you have proof of the vaccine. You can't go on federal property unless you wear a mask. Now you need a double mask. I saw recently, this is a side note, I saw in Newsweek that in Beijing, China, 1 million people, I'm not making it up, 1 million people have been tested for the vaccine. But instead of the nasal swab or the other methods, they had an anal swab. 1 million people. And the officials over there say that, it's more effective, in determining whether or not you have the coronavirus. Now, I guess from my perspective, why do you need to go get tested if you don't know if you have it? Shouldn't you have symptoms? Shouldn't you be sick? Shouldn't you have, and then they're saying, well, the nasal swab might not catch it that you have corona all the time, but the anal test is more accurate. Why are that's like pre-crime to me. It's like, well, you might commit a crime, so, you're a danger to society. We need to do this with you. Well, you might get COVID, so we need to test you to see if, you possibly have it. You might not. Why are you getting tested when you don't have any symptoms? It doesn't make any sense to me. You're either sick or you're not. And then drive-through anal swabs. That'll be the next thing. You have to have a driver, and then, you'll be on the passenger side hanging out. And, do you realize, and this is why people live away from, that's why people want to be independent. Because they're normalizing things that really aren't normal. Well, now we need to double mask. And even a triple mask, studies show, that's the most effective. That's the sweet spot. 3 masks. Why not wear 4 or 5? I mean, suffocate yourself to death. It blows my mind. So, it's really a choice. And I started the conversation off in the thought session with cryptocurrency. To me, and I'm an old school, hey, the system's going to break. Unsound money. They're running the printing presses hot. It's inflationary. They're destroying, creating asset bubbles. I mean, they're robbing the poor people, the average citizen of their wealth because, they're going to give you minimum wage of $15 an hour. Yet, when you go back to the Kennedy administration in the early 60s, minimum wage was a lot less, but the purchasing power was a lot more. So it was like $25 an hour minimum wage back then if you look at the numbers today. And now we're getting 15. So we've been robbed. We have no silver in the money. It's not backed by gold. It's just backed by nothing. It's by faith. And at some point, people are going to wake up and say, I don't have faith in the system anymore. And I think that's what you're seeing with a lot of people right now. I mean, it's a hollow production going on in D.C. right now. I mean, we have a president, I don't know, you like Trump or not, but, he would answer questions. He would stand there. Remember these COVID, meetings they'd have every day, the virus task force, whatever it is. He'd stand there for an hour fielding questions. You may not like how he'd handled it, but he did. I see Biden yesterday, gets done signing an executive order. That's all he does anymore. Signs executive orders. Can't find his pen to sign it. But he gets done, and the press is asking him questions. He just walks out, just rudely, just stumbles out, gingerly walks out. And it's just like, I don't even know what's going on. It doesn't even seem real to me. It's like I don't know, it's just a hollowed out production. That's all I can say. Crazy. So that's why people are, disconnecting from the system. That's why they have the impulse. That's why I've had the impulse. I hate both parties. I don't like either one because they're entrenched. They're corrupt. Absolutely corrupt. And, there needs to be, I think, term limits, automatic, after whatever, a senator, 2 terms max, probably just 1 term because it's 6 years. A representative, 4 terms, 8 years, same as the president. That's plenty. These people, they get in there and they create their own government within a government. They have their own network of things. And so the president can come in, have the best of intentions, but he's fighting this beast, this entrenched system. Call it the deep state, call it with the swamp, call it whatever you want. It's there. Both sides of the aisle. And how do you wrestle that power from them? They know the game. The only way to do it, you know, for me, it was like, fine, collapse the whole thing. I always thought, just run it, collapse the whole thing, and start over. Let's go Mad Max. That's what we're going to have to do. Get your guns, get your bullets, get your gold, you know, get your silver, have your food. And, I mean, that seemed to be the only answer. Well, now we have cryptocurrency. We can build a system, build a new tree root out of the dying tree. And we can spring forth a new system. But it takes people to have enough confidence and belief. Just like they believe in the dollar, you have to believe in cryptocurrency. And you have to use it. You have to have like-minded people, you know, accept it. Just like that community, if you come together, you can create any kind of money you want. As long as you're all accepting it, you're outside the system. You're doing your own thing. And if you can produce all the things you need in that community, then you're breaking free from that big system. You know, you hire each other and you pay each other with your currency, the local currency, you know, that community currency. And there's just, we got to start thinking our way out of this. And if you're invested in cryptocurrency and, you know, you've seen it coming, you'll do well. It will go up in dollar terms. The question is, what are you going to do with that newfound wealth? Are you going to build something that's better for the future, better for humanity, create something that's a better world for your children? You know, what are you going to do? I've got my own plans, and it's not going out and buying new cars. It's not going out and, you know, buying new houses. That's not the plan for me. You know, I'm happy driving this Digibug, you know, as long as I can keep it running, and that's what I do. And again, you know, it's like, I could take it to a mechanic and shell out a bunch of money and get it done. But you know what? I choose to do it myself as much as I can and learn and, you know, build life skills that I didn't have before, and, you know, and save a little money in the process. But more than anything, it's building self-sufficiency, and I think that's what we really need to look at least in my mind. Become as self-sufficient as you possibly can, and then be around like-minded people so that we can lift each other up, and so that we can, because, you know, we're not the enemy. It's other people that want to steal our energy, the vampires, that are the enemy. And we see them every day on the TV. And that's why, if you watch that stuff, your mind has a different idea of how reality works. It's not reality. Here's a good example. Every time I watch a television show, a movie where somebody's bringing coffee to somebody else or holding one of those styrofoam coffee cups or plastic, whatever, cardboard, every time it's so blatantly obvious that there's nothing in it. Nothing in it. Oh, let me go get coffee and bring it back to the office, and they got the whole cup holder with 4 coffee cups, you know, and they're holding it like this, moving it around like this. There's nothing in it. And it's so freaking irritating to me, because it's just insulting. It's really insulting. You know, you want us to believe that you're carrying coffee in, and you're carrying, obviously it's empty. There's nothing in it. There's no weight to it. I mean, that's just total deception. And yeah, I mean, it's a movie, you know, it just wouldn't work out, you know, if they had to carry the real things, put water in it. You know, add a little weight to it, make it somewhat realistic. But see, that's the fraud. That's the illusion that's being created. And watch, next time you watch a TV show, a movie, and they bring coffee out, there's nothing in the freaking cup. And it's a small thing, but it illustrates the big picture. All these people, you know, broadcasting, the news, I mean, they got their fake sets behind them, make it look like it's real. But at the end of it, it's just lighting. It's just theater. It's makeup. It's reading off of a teleprompter. It's not real. What's real? Interacting with people every day. Those people are real. everything around you every day. That's real. And live your life based on your experience. I'm not saying don't live vicariously through, other people's, mistakes and successes. That's important too. But don't let yourself be mind controlled by what you're seeing on the television screen. Look at Project Mockingbird. And, you'll see that all of this is nothing more than an illusion. It's theater. The whole thing is. And it always has been for a long, long time. So start envisioning a new world. Start envisioning the world you want to see, the world you want to live in. We all have our hopes and dreams and, how we envision the world and what we think is, would be the best. But then we kind of just put it back here and say, well, I got this to do today, that today. Okay, start working toward that, especially if you're in cryptocurrency, because you're going to have an opportunity to transform yourself, and maybe even a bigger opportunity to transform the lives of others. So don't underestimate the power that's coming to you. If you're in this game now, you're way ahead of people. You're way ahead of the rest of the population. And you're going to have an opportunity because you're going to do a springboard ahead. You're going to do more than you ever thought you could because you're in the game. And you can use that wealth as a tool, or you can use it just as a pleasure toy, to live in the same broken system that we're living in now. I don't want to do that anymore. I haven't wanted to do that to my whole life. I've known this thing's been screwed up. I've known it's been corrupt my whole life. I was born knowing that this is an artificial construct. It is fake. It is an illusion. It's a sick magic trick that's been played on us. And I want the big reveal. I'm ready for that. And all of us combined, doesn't take all of us, committed group of people with that mindset that they want to change things can do it. We have that opportunity. I think we need to manifest a new reality. We can do that. We'll have the opportunity and the means to do that. So let's not squander it. This may be a once in, 100 lifetime opportunity. I don't want to come back and do this again. I want to get this fixed now. I have the chance to do it. Never have we been so close. So let's do it. Let's change it. A lot of people are waking up. And so lead them to a better way. Show them, hey, you know what? Take a look at this. This might help. Free as many people as possible. If they're not awake, they're not awake. You can't beat a dead horse. But, help those people who are awake, who are activated. You'll know who they are. And other people, you'll know who they are. The ones that just want to live in a slumber and just, this isn't their time. That's all I can say. So, those are some rambling Thursday thoughts. How independent do you want to be? That's really what it comes down to. How free do you want to be? You want to take that anal test for COVID, or you want to try and get healthy and deal with it yourself? Make yourself stronger, get in a better situation. Be more independent. So, I could talk forever, but those are my thoughts today. And another thing is, if you want to get cryptocurrency, go to a CoinFlipATM. I always have the discount code below. This month you'll see what it is. In February it'll change, but you get 10% off the transaction fees. It just allows you to get a little bit more cryptocurrency when you go. It's an easy way to do it. If you've never bought cryptocurrency, put in $10. Find a coin flip near you, CoinFlipATM, TECH. Use the discount code in the description and put in $10. Download a wallet on your phone. Write down the seed phrase. Never give that to anybody. Just write it down. Never take a picture of it. That's your key to restoring that wallet if you ever lose your phone. Hang on to that. Very important. then you take that phone and say, hey, go buy some Litecoin. Put 10 bucks into a CoinFlipATM, get some Litecoin, put the discount code in, and walk away. And you'll see the power that you now have. And it's powerful. You are the bank. You control the money. You know, you are deciding to use a new form of money. That community. You are part of that community where you will use that and no one can stop you from using that. It's a powerful thing. You just, you know, experience it. So I hope you all have a wonderful day. Love you all. Thanks for listening to me ramble, and talk to you again soon.